Oh, really? Interesting.
So it's like it's corporate, it's enterprise, it's a lot of fun, but
Okay.
I'm taking you as a sprinkle of sweetness as I have this gap in my day to speak to you. And I would
How
love,
cute.
I want to just double check how I pronounce your name. How do I pronounce your name?
Kristen,
Kristen. It is Kristen, right? Okay.
I always say you can call me anything that you want except a bad name.
Well, Kristen's a fantastic name. I will say that. It's a strong
I
name.
like
It's a
it.
powerful name.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I know I want to be super respectful of your time, first and foremost. And I really appreciate you being here.
Of course.
There's always somewhat a set few questions in my mind, but I just flow with people and I'll just converse with you if, of
Love
course,
it.
you're down for it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So give me an idea actually, just before like we dive in. Where are you located right now?
United States. I'm in good old New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how's your day been so far?
My day is always crazy, to be honest. I am the chief operating officer of a private wealth team in Morgan Stanley. So I'm just always running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Yeah. Yeah. I can sense the power in your energy already, Kristen. I can sense it.
Thank you.
So let me start with this then. So the journey so far for you, Kristen, I know that you went through the 12 weeks with Simone and everything like that. The journey, let's go chronologically. Before
Yeah.
Simone, Kristen's traveling the land of Earth and she's
Yeah.
feeling like something maybe needs to change. What was happening in life before you met or saw Simone?
So general background about me is I have always struggled with body image, eating, all of the things. I was a dancer when I was younger, and it really helped shaped my attitude towards my body and food, which was not a healthy one. And then on top of that, my dad was a bodybuilder for at least 15 years of my life, and I'm 32, so at least half of my life. Um, and so just given the environments that I always was around, whether it was like excessive restriction or binge eating after a show or whatever it was, I've always sort of had this like very up and down relationship with food and my body and working out and not sort of having the right tools for a woman, I'll say,
Mm.
right? Because all I see in my life is my dad, who was my idol at the time, doing what he needs to do as a man. My mom is not very active, I'll say. And so, you know, anything I would try that like he would do, it just wasn't working for me. Got very frustrated as I got older. You know, my body changes, my metabolism changes, my habits change because of my responsibilities. And I kind of just got stuck in this place where all I was doing was obviously working and dedicating my time to everyone else but myself. And I came across Coach's post. I feel like she came up as like something on an Instagram that was like an ad, or like I just found her. I wasn't following her, I wasn't looking for anything. And she had put a free guide out there, and I was like, oh, this seems really interesting. Read through the free guide. And then she had like a I forgot what it was called, like a little program that was like whatever it was, $100. So I was like, oh, let me dive into this. Dove into that, and I don't think I got even through half of it. And I was like, something about this, I'm just feeling very called to, and I feel like I need to work with Coach. And so I reached out to her and we started our 12-week program.
Mm. When you say pull to there, what is that? Is that a an emotion, a feeling? Is it dreams that you're having? What does that manifest?
So I resonate with energy. I'm sure you do as well. And I have a really good intuition. I don't always listen to it, but I I always feel like there's a reason why she came up. There's a reason why I felt to do the free course. There's a reason why I felt like I needed more information. And there was also a reason why I didn't even get through half of it. And I was like, I feel like I just need to reach out to Coach and be like, I'm loving this already. Like, what are the opportunities here without even getting through something? Um, and so that's how I know when it's something I need, whether it's permanent or whether it was just those 12 weeks or even just like, hey, maybe interacting with her for a day. It was
Mm.
something that I needed in that moment. And I'll be honest, it was like,
Hmm.
I mean, I could take you chronologically after my 12 weeks with her and like I didn't actually need anything in the fitness space, if you will, or even really the like the food space. I needed someone who could help me just reshape my feelings around a lot of things.
Mm.
Not only food and my body, but just my life in general. And she was that person.
Yeah. That's a common theme that came up from me speaking to the other people she worked with.
Yeah.
It is all about energy. You know,
Mhm.
there is this magnetism towards Simone in some form. Even me and you being in the same room, it wouldn't even make sense if we weren't somewhat aligned in that same empathic nature. You talked about your intuition there.
Correct.
How, from your experience and getting a little gauge, not to dive into it, but a little gauge of your upbringing there with your dad and everything, how did you, apart from intuition, how did you know Simone wasn't um some kind of like, I just have to do it like a pose, that's some kind of personal trainer online that is offering some plan to download? How did you know she was different?
Because honestly, I never had seen someone speak about what she was talking about. And I've been obviously around the fitness space most of my life. And like I said, like I know what to do in the gym. I know what I should be eating, what I shouldn't be eating. I know that for a woman, weights aren't scary and, we're not going to bulk up. Like I know all those things. But there are very few people in the industry, I would say, and that's a broad statement, but at least the industry that I've been around that don't talk about women in general. And then to put that even further, the science behind a woman's makeup, like whether that being her hormones, her cycle, like no one talks about that. They just say, here's your 12-week plan, follow it for 6 weeks. We'll evaluate after 6 weeks. We'll make tweaks. Like no one sits down and says, okay, well, but you could work out for an hour a day, but like, what is your day like? Are you stressed? Do you have children or animals that you need to worry about? Do you have any health complications? Have you taken a hormonal panel? What is your period like? How long does it last? What's your energy? No, I've had a lot of coaches, let me tell you, a lot of coaches, whether it was a dance coach, a nutrition coach, a mindset coach, a life coach, a bodybuilding coach, a fitness model coach. No one sits down and talks about the specifics about being a woman and how that fits into your health journey.
Mm. Mm. So did you find
At least in the United States. Let me caveat that because I don't
well,
know what goes on overseas.
it's it's a cultural thing in the US where I think it will become more shined in the light.
Mhm.
But I'm over in Montenegro right now, and one thing I
Oh,
will say,
nice.
spoke to a guy the other day that was born and raised here, and he spoke very much about that. They're very big on traditional roles,
Mhm.
which is a good segue because you can shoot me down if I say anything that might be a little bit off limits. So you can just,
Go for
but
it.
the power inside you, which I imagine, give you a little cold read. You're an unbelievable high achiever. You have a very very high standard of everything that you do, and you also have the balance intuitively to anticipate what's worth putting your time and energy into. But you're also willing to take a risk, almost to fuck around and find out, so you know, and you have conviction in what you continue to go on to do your mission. That's my like little cold read of you so far.
Correct.
When you met and started connecting with Simone and working with her, did you find that you started maybe first time in your life really starting to recognize the importance of moving in alignment with your femininity?
Yes. It's actually something that for a while I had been, I don't want to say exploring, but sort of working through. Um, I had a situation that happened in my life, a couple situations that I know that have brought me to a very masculine, dominant energy space in my life. And it's made me very successful, very independent. I wouldn't want to change it. But now that I've, you know, hit certain marks in my career or in certain goals in life, whether it was like, buying a home or making a certain amount of money or gaining a certain title, once you hit those marks, okay, well now you want to share those milestones with someone. And so like I'm single, right? And there was a man in my life who sort of showed me that it's okay to have both masculine and feminine energy. But it all depends on that person that you welcome in,
Mm.
right? And so I was already working through that. And again, that's why I felt very called to work with Coach because when there was a video within that I think it was like 10 videos or whatever that program that I had bought from her before I committed to the 12 week. And it talked about feminine energy and the flow. And that's the video that I stopped and I reached out to her right away and I was like, okay, like what are we doing? How do I get involved for this 12 weeks? Because of the alignment of everything that I was working on previously by myself, that then she was wrapping it up into your health and your wellness and how that helps you with this journey. And again, it was just part of the alignment. And so, like, through my coaching with her, like, okay, maybe I wasn't able to, stick to my workout plan every week or whatever it was, but there was so much more growth that happened in that 12 weeks that her and I both identified that for me, it wasn't about making sure I hit my workouts 4 times a week or honestly, even hitting like my calories, right? Because I have a problem with eating enough food. Sometimes it was strictly about, did I just allow my energy to flow today? And guess what? I woke up the next morning and I was down a half a pound. So it was a very like surreal moment where I could probably eat spot on. I could work out those 4 times a week. I could do everything that like a general coach would tell me to do. But at the end of the day, it was so much more for me that she was able to offer, whether it was like that good mental clarity, creating a better space for me to flow and be in that feminine state, um, and take that like stress off my body, if you will.
Mm. I love you sharing, by the way. This is phenomenal for me to learn about you.
I always say I'm an open book. Just ask me the question.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I feel
Yeah.
I'm curious to know how many years have you had on Earth so far?
I'll be 32 this year.
Oh, so I was thinking probably where you were. There's a sense I got. One component to bring up. I know Simone was very specific about working with a certain age group simply because there's things you have to go through as a. I've never been a younger woman. Can't speak on behalf. Being a younger man, but I understand how the dynamics work. You have to go through a lot to get to a point where there's less noise. That's ideally the situation I imagine happens for you when you see that you recognized you needed more there. Do you feel like you've managed to connect to something within yourself that was provided to you through 12 weeks that will stick with you forever?
Yes. Um, that was a great way to put what I think we deal with as young women. And I truly believe that I've actually lived more than 32 years of my life already, in
Mm-hmm.
the sense of I think I've experienced a lot that has had me grow up very quickly in my life. Whether that be like things with my parents, traumas, brother, significant others, etc. Whatever it's been, I have had to fight through a lot in my life, and I'm very grateful for that. But like you said, that creates a lot of noise, and you tend to stick to what's safe a lot of the time because all you're looking for in life is stability, something that feels very secure. And so, even something as simple as like a career choice for me, where I went to school for communications, I have a minor in dance, but I'm in finance and I'm the chief operating officer in a financial space. Way out of my element, but I know what I'm good at and it's just what was the right thing to do in life in order to get that paycheck or build that career or buy that house. Something that Coach and I talked about was my choice in my career and how at the time, yes, it was that security piece for me because I didn't have security elsewhere, whether it was physical security, emotional security, financial security, anything of that. And I had to create that for myself. But now that I'm here and I've created that, I need to question myself. I need to push back. I need to sort of align myself with what my real calling is in life. And that's something that her and I explored. And so now when I'm moving through things or I'm making decisions, right? Most of the time my default is just do it safe. Stick to what's safe, but that's not always what I'm aligned to.
Mm.
And so then again, what her and I had talked about and the tools that she gave me, whether it was like certain workbooks that she gave me or prompts or exercises to do, like now every time I think about those things, I'm like, all right, am I doing this just because this is my default? Or am I doing this because this is what really is going to bring me joy in life? And ultimately, again, like allow me to feel that flow, which is something that I realize is very important to me.
Yeah. So two main things stand out for me there, Kristen. There's the calling. I want to touch on that in a second. You mentioned the calling, which is so is symbiotic, maybe the wrong word, right word, who cares? But it's come up with every single call that I've done.
Mm,
And naturally that segues me onto this part of yourself, because this is actually way more about you. And Simone knows this. When I do this, it's about like what actually happens to the human beings that are driven to do something on earth that we need to find other people. The way that I see coach as a coach, I've always tried to detach from identities, but like an
mm.
actual coach that will take you somewhere, that you hop on
Right,
the coach. As long as you
right,
show up, as long as you get on, you can get to where you want to go. But the experience of the coach can be VIP, or it can be like Slumdog Millionaire. Like there's different levels.
correct.
How has this been for you? And share what you will on becoming more aligned in doing what your calling is.
Great question. Um, Ever since I was little, I know that I was made to do more in life. I don't know what that meant when I was little, but I just knew that the skills that I had, the drive that I had, the dedication that I had, I was meant to change people's lives, big or small, doesn't matter. When I was in my teens, I found my niche for that where simply by giving back to kids that I was teaching dance to, that was my niche at the time. And I was making a world of the difference to these kids because they were sharing in something that was changing their life, that also changed my life as a child. It created security for me, and I was creating security for these little kids. And so that was like my small, like I was meant for something greater. I was meant to shape and change lives. Um, Now growing into a more corporate space, right? I'm in the financial industry. I have continued to do that in a way that I could, but I'm in this, and Coach and I always talk about this. I'm in this pivot period of my life where I either can stay safe and continue on, and I will be successful, and I will help my clients and help my team navigate to an amazing place, or I can be that person who I've always felt called to be and pivot and make impacts on a grander scale. And again, grand scale is not like changing the world, but shaping lives, companies, helping other people, whether again it's in the financial space or in a mental capacity, whatever it is. And so for me, again, having a coach that sort of was in that same position at one point where she was, working in the Maldives, like an amazing place to be. She could have stayed there forever if she wanted to, right? But she chose to take the leap of faith and she chose to believe in herself. That was the most important thing that I got from her. Like she was so committed to her skill and herself that there was no doubt in her mind that she wasn't going to fail. And that's something that I always say to myself, but I've never taken the risk. or really taken the leap to believe in myself. And so that's where I am right now, where like I'm still obviously in my career, I'm still building, I'm still trying to do what I need to do. But on the opposite side of that, I'm trying to figure out how do I pivot and create a life that is more aligned to what makes me happy while still being able to have that security, but like getting up and loving what I do every day because I don't right now.
Mm, mm. You know, the hardest thing for me on these calls is to stay disciplined for what this call's for, because I could just vibe with you for a
You can
long
vibe,
time.
you can vibe.
So let me go here then, because I have to share something with you if you're open to it.
Go for it.
So my understanding is we're all on Earth, right? Earth, we're grounded. We're on this ground. We're on Earth, and the world isn't actually a real place. And you said the world there. The world is more this concept and experience of reality that we have.
Mhm.
And one thing I picked up on what you said is maybe I'm not going to change the world. I mean, semantics of the language. Earth, can you change? Well, if you shift your world internally, I
Mhm.
mean, the possibilities are endless. And I'd be curious to know, what does your perfect world look like if you are aligned with what you're here to do?
Great question as well. My perfect world, if I'm aligned, is I'm just happy. Like that is what I'm always chasing. Happiness. Doesn't have to be an elevated space of happiness, but everything that I do, whether it's as small as making my cup of coffee or as big as traveling the world or having an insane experience, like whatever it is, everything that I touch should bring me joy. That's my perfect world.
Mm, mm. And adding on to that, what do other people mostly take from the best version of Kristen?
My time.
I
My
bet.
time. Yep.
Yeah.
Which obviously, if you then relate it back to what's my perfect world, what brings me joy is having time to myself, whether it is to make that perfect cup of coffee or travel the world. My time is the most valuable thing in my life. It's the most valuable thing in anyone's life, I personally think. And so every minute that I dedicate to something else for someone else takes away my spark.
Mm. Do you think you're sparked right now?
Yes, I do. Because even though I'm doing, like, technically I'm doing this for coach, because this will give her whatever she needs, whether it's that testimonial or that feedback in order to drive her business. I feel like it's an equal exchange in some respect because she gave me just as much as I want to give her right now.
Mm. I'm
So
gonna
I
let you.
don't feel like she takes from me at all.
Yeah, I feel you, and I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Simone is fantastic. She's
Mhm.
amazing, and she's a vessel. You mentioned faith as well. It's like me and her have this dialogue about something's moving through us, and it's a bigger purpose. And you're talking about that. And
Mhm.
if anything, just simply because I get the privilege to speak to you,
Mhm.
you are providing an insight, yeah, for Simone as a collateral. But the more that you have an opportunity, I like to feel, you tell me how you feel, but the more you have an opportunity to reflect in what does make you spark, does make you feel aligned in your best, most present self, someone else is going to see that. And that inspiration, almost like a little spark, inspire, fire inside, you spark in someone else. And that could be the catalyst for them to make a decision. Maybe that's working with Simone. Likely it
1,000%.
would be.
Mhm.
With you doing that, do you see how no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, if you remain yourself and more people see it, you're aligned with your purpose? Do you feel that?
1,000%.
Mm.
Mhm.
I'm
I do.
very, go, carry on, please.
No,
Give me,
I'm just saying I do because I do also know that there, and I want to be humble when I say this, but I say this in the most like endearing way about myself, is that I know that anyone who crosses my path whether it's us meeting right now or someone who watches a little clip about me talking about coach or just anyone I meet on the street, that person is very lucky to know me because of what I bring to the world. That little spark of joy or that little hint of guidance or that little, tip of inspiration, whatever it is. And that's why I feel like I'm called to do more in the world because I know that when someone leaves my presence, I have given them something that they will take away.
Mm, mm, okay. Two main cheeky questions to get out
Go
of you.
for it.
I feel I have to squeeze this in one for you. So it's a case of you're on this journey, you're going through this journey, you're expressing this very openly and honestly, which I really appreciate. The goal for you from here, joy and everything happy, but I mean specifically for you, if you was in the shoes of someone that even just yourself 6 months ago before, if you had to summarize it, like the goal that you want to share with someone that is in that same position where they want to find alignment, they want to feel like they're in, for females, they're in their feminine, they feel at their best. What's your message to those ladies?
Just jump in. Don't think, just jump. Because the thing about women is it's one of our greatest qualities, but also something that I think really trips us up in a lot of things that we do in life. We deliberate everything emotionally, deliberate it. Just do it.
Mm,
What's the worst that happens? I wasted, a couple of thousands of dollars and I talked to a friend for 12 weeks and she maybe helped me like figure something out and maybe I lost a few pounds and I didn't. It doesn't matter. Just jump in.
mm. Plant this seed before I ask you the last question. Thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
of course.
I always I'm a human being on earth, man. I'm just floating around doing what I'm doing as Charlie. So if me and you stay connected in some way, I'd be curious to see where your journey goes
Yeah,
and what you do. But
totally.
my last question is more presently, right? Everything with Simone is big on the cycles, 28-day cycles, menstrual. There's all the things that I forget all the time myself. But like
The luteal phase, the follicular phase.
yeah, so you're going through those cycles. Expand. We're about to enter into springtime. Don't know where you are. I'm sure it's the same. But to me, April Fools is the fall and the start of a new season and cycle. How are you closing out? And what's to come for you in the next full seasonal cycle?
So funny. I don't view my life that way.
Mm,
Like it's almost like the what New Year's resolution are you making? I don't view a day that dictates the end of my chapter
mm,
or the end of my cycle or the end of my season. So I don't close anything out and I don't hope for something else as I move forward. If I had a bad day, I had a bad day. If I had a bad week, I had a bad week. But no day or season or cycle really determines what I'm closing out, what I'm bringing in
mm.
personally.
Yeah. So you're just crushing in the moment.
Yeah, I try. It's hard,
Mm,
but every day really is a new day. And it's so funny. I always say, like, I don't really know anyone like me who truly enjoys their birthday the way I do because I really look at life as being every year older is such a privilege.
mm,
And I've had some shitty fucking years. If we would need probably a whole day to chat about that.
mm,
But every single thing that you go through, good or bad, shapes who you are. And the person that I am, I'm very proud of. Whether or not sometimes I emulate that is a different story. But if it took me a whole season to get there, then that's fine. If it took me 30 years to get there, that's fine. But I never want to close something out or open something else or look. No, everything that I've gone through, good or bad, makes me who I am. And I will continue to welcome the past, but also welcome the future.
mm. Oh, well, let me end on this sentence then, because I appreciate the shape and the vibration of you today.
Thank you.
Honestly, like you in the corporate world and everything like that. It's crazy. This is like a little like side quest that we've just gone on. And
Totally.
I really appreciate you sharing so honestly. I don't expect any less actually. Like it doesn't surprise me. And I am behind you energetically in your mission, finding your calling and being aligned with that. And if there's anything that when I say we, I always speak on Simone's behalf as well. We're a team here. And I find
Yeah.
there's a collection of people on a mission to bring their purpose to earth. So if there's anything more we can do, Kristen, give us a shout. Thank you so much for today, though.
Thank you. And same goes for you guys. I mean, I'm not always like available at the moment, but give me a second and like anything you guys need. And I told coach that like in the 12 weeks, I feel like a different person, whether my body looks the same or not, or my eating habits are the same or whatever they are. She still made an impact in my life and the program makes an impact, right? So at the end of the day, I am an advocate for her, however I can be. Her and her team, I should say.
Yeah. I always end with a flex. Don't feel like you have to join me. So
I am not flexing.
have an amazing rest of your day. I imagine right now, if you're on Eastern time, what is it, two for you?
It's 3:30 p.m. here and it is raining cats and dogs. It is such a dreary day, but it's okay. I woke up this morning. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Thanks for brightening up mine.
Of course. Thank you. All
You're welcome. I will speak to you really soon. Thank you so much.
right. Have a good one, Charlie.
You too. Peace.
Bye.